Welcome to Cartmel and race 34. On our last day of the Starters Orders Leagues, we've got a 2 mile 7 furlong Starters Orders Championship qualifier over the hurdle. So Ted DiBiase, 3-time winner for Matt Cooper, Dare the Dead for Nick Driver, Clarina Goodnight for Alex Cherry, James Shay's Nightingale Tiara, Fireball 1 for Stu Gray, Mohagan for Nick Driver, Mohagan's son, James Shay's Bond Goal, Every Mental for you for Nance Last, Woodwork, Toucan and Jewel Monkey. Woodwork Toucan that they are already racing. And sorry, it was Woodwork Toucan, as well as Every Moment for You with Dan Solaris's. So waiting to settle down. I like Cartmel as they go over the first of the 11. They'll skip over that, although Ted DiBiase, as I mentioned, previous 3-time winner, rather stumbled and tumbled over it. They get to the second. They'll clear that a little bit better. Although I think that was Bond Goal for James Shay, although I think he's a chaser, nipping into the hurdlers, looking to qualify with the first 4 that finish. But it's Dare the Dead, this race with Clarina Goodnight, Alex Cherry and Nick Driver together, a length and a half back to Jewel Monkey and Ted DiBiase. Then we've got Fireball 1, and Dan Solaris at Woodwork at Toucan. The grey just on his inside is his stablemate, Every Moment for You. Mohegan's son, also Nick Driver's other runner, and we can't see Nightingale Tiara and Mohegan's son again, which just seems to be flip-flopping. But up front, they're through 3. It is Clarina Goodnight and Day of the Dead, stalked by Ted DiBiase, Jewel Monkey and Fireball 1 from the grey stables are just behind those, and then Every Moment for You. Sharp track here at Cartmel as they get to the 4th. We can see they've cleared it. Dare the Dead jumps himself into a half-length lead. Ted DiBiase on his outside and Clarina Goodnight on his inside. And they're our first 3. We've got the 2, Fireball 1 and Jewel Monkey. We've lost sight at the moment of Bond Goal that seems to be pushing up, although Every Moment for You seems to have got back into it. You can see them all flip-flopping about in the backpack. But it's Clarina Goodnight, Dare the Dead and Ted DiBiase. 3 in the line. As they approach the next, it's Clarina Goodnight, Ted DiBiase and Dare the Dead. We get to that one. They've all cleared it. Dare the Dead was a little bit slow. Jewel Monkey and Fireball 1 go over it well together. But it's Ted DiBiase, leads by half from Clarina Goodnight, Dare the Dead. They all clear that much better. Good jump. A few back by Jewel Monkey. So it's these 5. Can't see anybody else at the moment, but it's Ted DiBiase that's taken up the lead. Still got just under a mile and a half to run. Still another 5 hurdles to take. But Ted DiBiase and Clarina Goodnight, Dare the Dead, Jewel Monkey and Fireball 1. Slightly uphill here through the trees. That's what I said, I think it's a lovely course, Cartmel. They should do loads of racing there. Anyway, they're over the 7th now, and they all cleared that. The drivers, Dare the Dead, took it well. We can also see the shadow there of Mohegan's son, the driver's 2nd horse in this one. None of these are previously qualified, because we only have had 1 race so far. My pet hate. But it is Ted DiBiase. I do believe if you're already qualified, then don't go in it, or maybe you shouldn't be allowed in it, because then all you're doing, if you take another qualifying place, you're just taking it from somebody else. Anyway, we're over the 8th now, and it is Ted DiBiase still leading us from Clarina Goodnight and Jewel Monkey that's moved up into 3rd from Day of the Dead and Fireball 1. A mile left to travel, and it is Ted DiBiase, Jewel Monkey, Clarina Goodnight. Dare the Dead looking for a little bit of racing room there. He's got behind those 2, Jewel Monkey and Clarina Goodnight. Although Jewel Monkey's going to pull alongside Ted DiBiase now from Clarina Goodnight, and Dare the Dead just getting a couple of reminders. The one that's popped in it from nowhere is, I think that's Who's that? Nightingale Tiara, not had a mention for James Shea with the red cap towards the back. Obviously had to do a lot of work to get there, but it is Jewel Monkey and Ted DiBiase as we come down to the final 5 furlongs. Ted DiBiase just noses in front from Jewel Monkey. They're both on and off the bridle. Corinna Goodnight just being ridden hard now. Also moving well on the outside is Fireball 1 as they go over the 10th. It looks like Nightingale Tiara doesn't have a lot left after all that work. The Dead and Mohegan Sun is running on. I don't know how I can't get my tongue around that. Fireball 1 closing down these leaders as well. So it's Jewel Monkey that hits the lead from Ted DiBiase and Fireball 1. Mogan Sun, that's what we're going to call it. Jewel Monkey from Ted DiBiase, Fireball 1, Mogan Sun, then back to Corinna Goodnight, but it is Jewel Monkey takes them over the last, leads by about 3 lengths to Ted DiBiase in second. Fireball running on well, we're losing sight of the rest, but it's Jewel Monkey still leads inside the furlong from Fireball 1 and Ted DiBiase. Mohegan Sun's in fourth, but it's Jewel Monkey going to be run down by his stablemate Fireball 1, but not. It's Jewel Monkey and a Fireball 1. They're going to be a 1-2 for Stu Gray. Get in from Ted DiBiase running on well. That's my first winner of the National Hunt, bar a bumper, which we don't really count. Sorry, I'm shouting just all for myself. I'm not really talking about any of the rest of you. But well done to Ted DiBiase and Matt Cooper coming in third. I think fourth is going to be Mogan Sun. We'll just wait to see if it does come up in time. It is. And let's move over to the chase qualifier.